All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with more One Piece. Sorry, I had to take care of some things real quick on my phone, but that's been sorted. So now we can go ahead and get started. Let's get the formalities out of the way, shall we? I also had to get my stream ready for Summer Game Fest on Thursday because I hadn't made it yet, so I had to, create a thumbnail and get all that sorted out. But let's go ahead and get started. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of One Piece. Today, we are going to be going through volume 25 of the series, titled The 100 Million Berry Man. So, let's get started. I honestly feel like my microphone is too close, because I want you guys to be able to see my face as well. Had a heaping helping of orange juice today, so let's begin. Volume 25, The 100 Million Berry Man. The Story of One Piece, Volume 25. Monkey D. Luffy started out as just a kid with a dream to become the greatest pirate in history. Stirred by the tales of pirate red-haired Shanks, Luffy vowed to become a pirate himself. That was before the enchanted devil fruit gave Luffy the power to stretch like rubber, at the cost of being unable to swim. A serious handicap for an aspiring sea dog. Undeterred, Luffy set out to sea and recruited some crewmates. Master Swordsman Zoro, treasure hunting thief Nami, lying sharpshooter Usopp, the high-kicking chef Sanji, Chopper, the walkin' talkin' reindeer doctor, and the mysterious archaeologist Robin. Having defeated Sir Crocodile and restored peace to the kingdom of Alabasta, Luffy and crew bid Princess Vivi a tearful farewell and set sail once more on the Grand Line. They soon discover they have a stowaway, none other than Nico Robin, formerly Crocodile's partner Miss All Sunday. She surprises them even more by asking to join their merry crew. After some initial hesitation over her sudden turn of allegiance, they welcome her aboard. As they follow the course set by their log pose, it suddenly starts pointing up to the sky. When Robin tells them of a legendary island in the sky, Luffy becomes determined to go there. They sail to the island of Jaya to gather more information, but there they are bullied and beaten by the pirate Bellamy the Hyena, who has no tolerance for dreamers. Hearing of an eccentric? Have I been saying eccentric? Oh, no, I've been saying it right. It's just that my brain says, like, you've been saying this wrong for at least 5 seconds, and it made me second guess myself. Hearing of an eccentric man named Mont Blanc Cricket, the man who speaks of big dreams, they decide to visit him, hoping he holds the secret of how to get to the mysterious island in the sky. Sorry for the flubs there. We're going through chapters 227 all the way to 236. So let's begin. Chapter 227, Nolan the Liar. Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, Volume 39. The Catfish Village repays their debt. And they do that by building Hachi an entire ship. Like a whole ship, they just build a whole ship for Hachi. But now we continue with the with the Merry out on the sea, and we have everyone starting to slowly repair the Merry after dealing with Shoujo, whose sonic singing caused damage to the Merry. And then it cuts to Usopp.
That darn orangutan! He almost wrecked the ship!
Yeah, it really is in bad shape. Maybe it's time we get a new one. Maybe it's time we got a new one.
How can you say that?
At first you thought Miss All Sunday and Robin were two different people? I mean, that was her code name during when she was with Baroque Works.
Don't worry, Usopp. The Merry Go's part of the crew. She'll be as good as new once we fixed her up. You've got a big heart, Luffy.
And then it cuts to Luffy, who's hammering, but at the same time causes another hole to break up into the Merry while he's helping with repairs.
Hey!
The eastern coast of Jaya, on the opposite side of Mocktown.
This is the place on the map.
this is where we'll find... What was his name?
Mont Blanc Cricket. The man who talks of big dreams lives here? Ooh, wow!
Goes both Usopp and Luffy as they look and they see this ginormous looking castle that's on the coast.
That's his house? He must be loaded!
Look more closely, fools. A man of big dreams, eh? No worries, you thought Arlong was one of the warlords? It happens. A man of big dreams, eh? Well, he certainly likes to create an illusion.
Illusion?
Hey, it's only plywood! As it shows that the house that this person lives in is not like some big, giant castle. It's just a giant plywood cardboard cutout of a castle that's in front of the actual living space. Hey, it's only plywood!
What?
There's only half a house. The rest is fake. What a cheapskate.
What kind of dreams was he talking about that they kicked him out of town for? I don't know all the details, but apparently he claims there's a huge hoard of gold somewhere on Chaya. Gold? Is it a lost treasure? Is it a lost pirate treasure? I'm not sure.
The map of Jaya looks like a dinosaur and an elephant. Hold on, let me look. Let me look at it again. It does. It kind of does. Huh. Never noticed until you said that. Now it won't leave my head.
Is it a lost pirate treasure? I'm not sure. Dig, Chopper! Find the gold! Huh? I should dig?
He lives alone in this remote area, huh? Hello, anyone home? And then Luffy just walks into the house.
What are you doing, Luffy?
Huh? There's nobody here. Hello?
Hey, hold on! What if he's dangerous?
Hey, he's not here.
Huh? A storybook. It looks really old,
goes Nami.
Nolan the Liar.
That's a catchy title. I like the theme. Nolan the Liar. That brings back memories. I read it as a kid.
You read this, Sanji? But it says it was published in the North Blue.
Yeah, I was born in the North Blue. Didn't I mention it?
This is the first I've heard of it. I thought you were from the East, too. Chopper, be quiet. What are you doing?
As it cuts to Chopper, who's like using his horns to try and dig into the ground. Yeah, I was raised in the East. Well, never mind that. This story's pretty famous in the North. It's a children's tale, but I've heard that this Nolan really did exist a long time ago. Oh, we'll get into that whole Sanji situation later. This is a tale from long, long ago.
Huh.
More than 400 years ago, in a land in the North Sea, there lived a man named Mont Blanc Noland. Noland was an explorer, but his stories of adventure were so amazing that nobody believed them. The villagers didn't know whether they were true or just made up. One day, Nolan returned from his travels and reported to the king. I found a mountain of gold on an island in the vast sea. The brave king took 2,000 soldiers and went with Mont Nolan to verify his claim. They set sail upon the great ocean. They were buffeted by tempest and attacked by sea monsters. By the time they reached the island, only the king, Nolan, and 100 soldiers remained. But instead of finding a mountain of gold, there was only jungle. Nolan was sentenced to death for lying. Before he died, his last words were, I know! The mountain of gold must have sunk into the sea! The king and the others were flabbergasted. The first use of flabbergasted in this story. No one believed Nolan anymore, but he stuck to his lies to the very end. Nolan the Liar, a North Sea folktale. And then it cuts to Mocktown. Mont Blanc Cricket is a descendant of Mont Blanc Nolan. I heard that tale a lot as a kid. Everybody in the North Blue knows the story of Nolan the Liar. And we cut to Bellamy and Sarkis. And we're all from the North. The grown-ups always said that if I told lies, I'd end up like Nolan. This is getting more and more interesting. And the story took place on Jaya. Imagine that. And now a descendant of Nolan the Liar is searching for gold on this island 400 years later. all to redeem an ancestor who was branded a liar and died a laughingstock. And everyone is just laughing.
What a hilarious family. He thinks if he can find a few specks of gold dust, it'll erase 400 years of humiliation. Now that's familial devotion.
I said that wrong. It's familial.
Now that's familial devotion.
And then it cuts to Luffy and company. And Luffy's just looking out at the sea.
Sadly, the liar died without ever becoming a brave warrior of the sea. Why are you looking at me when you say that? And stop adding your own commentary.
And then Luffy falls into the ocean.
Huh? Luffy fell in the ocean. Huh? What are you doing?
Who are you? And then someone gets up out of the sea.
You've got guts making yourself at home on someone else's property. Usopp, save Luffy.
As Sanji goes in after him. Sanji goes to confront this large man who's just appeared in front of him.
The waters around here belong to me.
Mont Blanc Cricket, last boss, the Monkey Mountain Allied Force. And he's this really big dude. Well, his upper body is really big. And he has like some sort of like chestnut thing on the top of his head.
You're after the gold, aren't you? Then die!
And he tries to hit Sanji, and Sanji dodges him. And as it cuts to Sanji preparing to attack him, Mont Blanc Cricket jabs Sanji directly into his midsection. Yo, Ozzy! What is going on? We are on the first chapter of this volume. But it appears that he didn't in fact hit Sanji, but Sanji blocked his blow with his leg. And then Cricket tries to shoot Sanji in the face.
Sanji!
And then Nami screaming,
Sanji!
I'm alright. He missed. But... Wait! Fool, you underestimated him. And then it cuts to Zoro, who's rushing into the fight. Huh? And then it shows that the gun is down on the ground. And then it cuts to Usopp, who has Luffy.
What were you thinking?
I saw bubbles in the water. Then a chestnut came up out of the water. But the chestnut turned out to be a guy, and he pulled me into the water.
Huh?
And it cuts to Mont Blanc Cricket, who's laying down on the ground all of a sudden.
Hey, you okay, mister? Give me a cold towel and open all the windows.
The bends?
He's sick? It's a condition divers sometimes get. It's usually not chronic, though. When a diver comes up out of deep water too quickly, the sudden decompression causes air bubbles to form in the blood and tissues.
Ooh. That's actually bad when you think about it. You ever heard of someone suffering the bends where blood actually bubbles and air bubbles is in your blood and inside of you in spaces where air should not be? That actually sounds painful, enough to be debilitating.
The sudden decompression causes air bubbles to form in the blood and tissues. These bubbles expand and cause problems in the vascular system, muscles, and joints.
Must have been an unnatural phenomena, as, Luffy's just looking out the window.
This man's probably been diving deep day after day without giving his body time to decompress. But why? I don't know, but it's very dangerous. In some cases, the bends can be fatal.
And as Chopper is saying this, we see a picture in the background, and it's Mont Blanc Cricket in a picture with Masada and Shoujo. The two ape-like dudes that we've encountered all of a sudden, like recently in recent chapters. They are in a photo with him. And that's the end of chapter 227. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 228. I'm having so much fun reading these volumes for all of you. I really am. SBS! Reader, boys and girls, gather round. Who will start the question corner today? Alright, you, little Ichiro. Huh? What? Everyone wants to say it? Alright, gotcha. Then let's all say it together. Ready?
Let's start the question corner!
Okay, this is fair. Oda, let's start the Hey, I flubbed! And it was my big chance. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. In volume 18 on page 28, is the sea cat wearing an earring in its left ear? Why is that? Tell me. Ms. Whiteday. Oda, that's just ear hair. Okay, everyone trying to say it 3 times as fast as you can. Ear hair, ear hair, ear hair, ear hair. Hard, huh? Yes, it is. Even though it seems like I said it correctly, I was struggling just to get past the second one. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. This is regarding Nico Robin's birthday. I think February 6th, Nico Robin, would be nice. In Japanese, ni is 2 and ro is 6. Editor. And Oda just says, oh yes, I agree. Chapter 228, Mont Blanc Cricket, the last boss of the Monkey Mountain Allied Force. Hachi's Walk on the Seafloor, final volume, grand opening. Takoyaki 8, an octopus fritter shop on the high seas. And just like that, Hachi's dream is already working out for him. I'm happy for Hachi.
Well, if it isn't Masura, you're still alive?
Of course, what are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. But what were those gunshots just now?
I hope the boss is okay.
Let's hurry, I'm worried.
Boss!
Are you alright?
And then both Shoujo and Mashida burst into the building where Mont Blanc Cricket lives. And then Luffy and company are just staring them down as they're taking care of them. And Usopp and Chopper are the ones screaming as everyone looks at him, with Usopp going,
Ah! They've come to kill us!
And then Chopper's just screaming.
Ah!
And they both just run off.
What are you doing here?
What have you done to the boss? We're giving this man medical treatment, so go away.
Idiot! They won't listen to reason! They're savages! Come on, let's escape out the window!
And then it cuts to Shoujo and Masuda, who are just teary-eyed that the Straw Hats are taking care of their boss. That's so nice of you.
Ah! They listen to reason!
So, you guys live here too? Well, the boss's house is the headquarters of the Monkey Mountain Allied Force, but we usually sleep on our own ships.
After all, this house is kind of small for us.
Because, they're large monkey men. You guys are just too big, but then maybe to a giant, you're tiny. How come they're all getting along? You love that effect when the legs are blurred when running? Yeah, it shows you that they're putting their all into running. To running away. How come they're getting along so well? They all have monkey brains.
But how did a little guy like you manage to beat this? But how did a little guy like you manage to beat this big log?
Huh? It was easy. You could do it.
Huh? Really?
Sure.
Luffy, he's coming too. Ah, you're right, he went flying.
And then it shows Shoujo just kicking Masuda into the distance. Great! As Luffy walks away and we come back to Mont Blanc Cricket, who's now fully active. Hey, Diamond Head guy, we want to ask you something. And everyone just walks into the room. And then Cricket speaks. Sorry I attacked you guys. I thought you were after my gold.
What? You have gold?
And then Nami has money shapes in her eyes.
Don't even think about it,
goes Usopp. What is it you want from me? We want to go to the island in the sky. How do we get there? A sky island? You guys believe that story?
Nami, don't! He's still recovering!
Because remember, the last time, she still remembers when people were laughing at her and company when they were asking about the Sky Islands. So yeah, she still gets riled up when people laugh at her asking about Sky Islands.
Nami, don't! He's still recovering!
As Usopp is holding her back from beating up Mont Blanc. You mean it doesn't exist? Well, there was one man who said it did, but he went down in history as a liar, and his descendants have been the objects of ridicule ever since. And then Luffy just looks dumbstruck, and then he looks at Usopp.
It's not me!
Nolan the Liar. It's an ancient tale.
It's not me! Our names are different!
As Luffy continues to look at Usopp like he's the one making up the lies.
You're his descendant? And this is where it all took place?
He was my great. Anyway, it's a silly story about a distant ancestor. I probably only have a drop of his blood in me. The Mont Blanc family was driven off and forced to live in shame. Even to this day, we're still ridiculed. But nobody in the family ever held it against him. Why not? Because we know that Nolan was no liar. Huh? In the book, Nolan's last words were, "I know, the mountain of gold must have sunk into the sea." It shows him grinning like an idiot, but he actually died with tears rolling down his cheeks. The island they reached was undoubtedly Jaya, the same island that he said held the ruins of the City of Gold. I don't believe he made it up. Nolan theorized that the ancient ruins sank into the sea due to shifting of the Earth's crust. Everyone thought it was said out of desperation, as his last effort to redeem himself. He was put to death as everyone laughed at him.
So in order to clear the Mont Blanc name, you've been diving down to the ocean floor in search of this City of Gold!
And then it cuts to Mont Blanc, who holds a gun towards Usopp going, "Don't be ridiculous!" And then, he also almost shot Usopp. He almost shot him. He almost shot Usopp because there's a bullet hole right above Usopp's head.
Usopp!
So what if Nolan was telling the truth? So what if Nolan was telling the truth? So what if he was a great explorer? None of that matters to me. Because that fool's blood flows in my veins. Total strangers made fun of me all throughout my childhood. Do you know what that's like? That's how I grew up. Over the last 400 years, in order to restore the family honor, countless Mont Blancs have gone to sea, and all of them disappeared without a trace. I was ashamed of my family, so I left home and became a pirate. Oh, so you're a pirate too? I didn't set out to be one. I just wanted to get away from Nolan's curse. Then, 10 years ago, my ship happened to land on this island after an adventure. Ironically, as the one who hated the Mont Blanc family and Nolan the most, I was the only one who landed here. But as I stood on that cliff overlooking this island, which as the book said showed no trace of a city of gold, I realized that fate had brought me here. There was no escaping it. Let's settle this once and for all, Nolan. As it shows Mont Blanc standing on that same cliff face. And then it cuts to pirates. Are you crazy? Look, boss, this is a family matter. It's none of our business. If you want to stay here and look for gold, do it by yourself. This is where we part ways. And the pirate crew that Mont Blanc was a part of, they just take this ship and just leave him behind. I don't think they even leave him anything. And then it cuts to Mont Blanc diving into the waters, constantly. It doesn't matter whether I find it or not. I'm not looking for the gold, or to clear his name. This is my battle with the man who ruined my life. And then everyone is just silently listening in. But before I die, I intend to set the record straight. And then Usopp is just getting emotional over this news, going,
What a man!
But how come those monkeys are here?
There must be a movie tale about men who risk their lives in the ocean's depths behind it.
They're just fans of the story.
Fans? For real?
5 or 6 years ago, they heard about me and came here uninvited, convinced that Nolan's gold was real. Shoujo! How dare you kick me like that? Prepare to die! As it shows Masuda finally getting up out of the ocean after Shoujo basically just kicked him into it.
Oh, are you trying to pick a fight, Masuda? Don't get me started.
And it cuts to Masuda and Shoujo just beating each other up outside. The sea around here is deep. When you're diving in the dark and cold water, the loneliness is intense. Day after day I dived and searched all by myself. Then those two stumbled into my life. They became my self-appointed henchmen. To be honest, those fools saved me. Can you understand?
Sure, I can. True comrades can lift a man's sad heart.
I'm tired of monkey stories.
Then don't listen or grit your teeth and bear it.
Because, Usopp doesn't like it when people interrupt manly stories. Like I said, I want to go to the island in the sky, mister.
Such an impatient lad. Didn't I just tell you that the one who spoke of the Sky Island was Nolan the liar? If you believe his tales, you'll become a laughingstock like me.
Huh? He went to the Sky Island too?
Well, he didn't say he actually went.
Is that the log of Nolan himself?
That's right. Read this passage.
And then he tosses the logbook over to Nami.
Amazing. A log from 400 years ago. The age of Kayan 1120, June 21st. Clear skies, sailed from the lively town of Vera. Will follow the log post and sail straight east, northeast. Got hold of an unusual item from a merchant ship today. It's a one-man boat called a waver, which rides like a ski. This strange vessel can even sail on windless days by creating its own wind, but there's a knack to operating it that I have not yet been able to master. The crew are enjoying it now. How cool, I want one, goes Luffy.
And then Usopp and Chopper are going,
keep reading! The power to run this vessel is found only on Sky Islands. I have heard there are many things with special properties up there. Speaking of Sky Islands, a fellow explorer once showed me a living sky fish, which was amazing to behold. It's a land our ships have never visited, but as a sailor I wish to someday visit this sea in the sky. Mont Blanc, Noland. A sea in the sky! That's what Robin said! Yeah, and according to this, people didn't doubt the existence of a sky island 400 years ago!
And then Chopper doesn't say anything because he's just so excited.
It really exists! Yes!
And then Mont Blanc is just listening in.
Boss, you okay? I'm fine. Tell me, do you like these people? Oh wait, I'm fine. Tell me, do you like these people?
And then Shoujo.
What do you ask?
These pirates are determined to go to Sky Island.
Sky Island? But there's only one way to get there.
They'll be killed instantly, boss. That's why I'm asking. It'll be up to us to help them get there.
Yo, okay, Mont Blanc Cricket gonna be helping the Straw Hats get to Sky Island. And then we just get like, doom. And that's the end of chapter 228. We got an SBS, and then we can continue with chapter 229. Reader, how are you, Mr. Oda? You must really love summer since you like to be naked. Oda, yes, I love to walk around in the nude. In the summer, I soak in the bath, then go outside. I get a lot of looks. I go outside naked. I get a lot of looks from the girls' softball team as they jog along the riverbank. Yay, it's summer, I call out. Are you crazy? I'd get arrested. And then another... I like how Oda will go along with these and then just realize, like, no, that's stupid. Question. I have a question, Oda-sensei. I understand that long ago in Britain, noblemen were addressed as Sir. Is that where you got the Sir and Sir Crocodile? Sir. And it's just him saying sure. Question. On page 184 of volume 24, Usopp is making repairs to the ship and he hits his middle finger with the hammer. So why is his index finger swollen in the next panel? And then it cuts to Oda saying, that's the balloon principle. For example, if you have a long balloon and you squeeze it at one end, the other end suddenly gets bigger. Similarly, when Usopp hit his middle finger, his index finger swelled up. Get it? So, injuries on Usopp are random. If he hits his finger, it's not guaranteed that that one particular finger would swell up, another part of him will. That's just making your whole body suffer. You get hit somewhere and some other place on you randomly just swells up. Usopp's got a weird body. Chapter 229, let's eat.
Alright, first, I'm gonna tell you all I know about Sky Island. This is all hearsay, mind you. It's up to you if you believe it or not.
Okay, I believe it. And then, without thinking, Luffy just says, okay, I believe it. And then Usopp hits him in the head.
Wait till you hear it!
And then Zoro is just asleep behind everybody.
Sometimes, a mysterious phenomenon occurs in the seas around here. In the middle of the day, night suddenly falls on one part of the sea.
Yeah, we know, we saw it, right?
Yeah, it got dark and then some monsters showed up. You mean the giants? Their origin is a mystery too, but let's leave that for now. The sudden night is actually the shadow of a dense mass of clouds.
You mean cumulonimbus? Cumulonimbus? You mean cumulonimbus clouds? That cloud names, why? Why do they have, like, such long titles for different types of clouds? This is Stratoomanomalus. This is Nomiamadambadis. This is Almelalimidas. Like, what? Who comes up with the name for clouds? Why? Why? Why do they exist? Why do they exist? Why do they exist? Huh? Why? Why? Messing me up while I'm reading. I got people here, 7 people alive, making me butcher words.
You mean cumulonimbus clouds? But they can't create total darkness.
You're not too smart, mister. When there are lots of clouds, it's called cloudy, not night.
Yeah, cloudy. Cloudy!
Shut up and listen. Imperial Cumulus, the Emperor Cloud. That's what the phenomenon is called. It's a dense mass of clouds high in the sky. There are no air currents or condensation within it, and when it appears, it blots out the sun. Day suddenly turns to night. According to one theory, the Emperor Cloud has remained unchanged for thousands of years, like a petrified cloud that floats in the air. Here, other people call it Jean Jacket for some reason.
I remember learning about the different clouds in 8th grade, but I slowly forget them. I remember learning about them too. I remember about learning about weather and all sorts of different things in social studies and different sections of classes. And then it just left me.
Like a petrified cloud that floats in the sky.
A dense cloud formation that doesn't produce rain? That's ridiculous!
You were literally just told before you entered the Grand Line that you should not expect normalcy in the Grand Line. Just saying.
Believe what you will. I'm only telling you what I've heard.
So it's a mysterious cloud, huh?
Correct. It remains unexplained to this day.
Luffy, you're so smart!
Chopper, he is not. He is not. You're young. You don't know. But he is not.
But if a Sky Island does exist, that's almost certainly where you'll find it.
Okay, I get it. Okay, let's get on top of that cloud. Hey, Zoro, wake up! Is it morning? Okay, you guys, let's go full speed to the clouds. Thanks a lot, mister.
How many times do I have to tell you we don't know how to get there yet?
Goes Nami.
Now here's the important part. Know this. You'll be risking your lives.
And then it cuts to Nami, who's basically beaten up both Usopp and Luffy to the point where their faces are massively swollen. They almost look like slightly taller Funko Pops.
Ooh, we're already half dead.
The knock-up stream is deadly, and you'll have to let it carry you up to the sky.
So you're saying that an ocean current that can throw a ship into... So you're saying it's an ocean current that can throw a ship into the air, right?
I get it. We just had to get thrown up onto the clouds.
By an ocean current?
And Chopper is just thinking of a portion of the ocean launching the Mary into the sky.
But won't it just smash us against the ocean? That's what I heard in Mocktown.
That's usually what happens. The critical thing is timing. It may sound easy enough, but it's a very violent experience. To be hurled aloft by the knock-up stream is catastrophic. Normally, it's something to be avoided at all costs.
Ugh. But why does this ocean current shoot upward? We've never even heard of this thing before.
This monstrous oceanic current is mostly based on speculation. No one has been foolish enough to research it themselves. The theory is, there's an enormous cavity deep beneath the sea. As cool seawater flows into it, geothermal heat from below creates enormous pressure and steam, resulting in a massive eruption. This titanic explosion propels the seawater skyward in a torrent. For approximately 1 minute, the sea rises high into the air.
It rises for a whole minute? So where can we
Ow! I bit my back of my tongue a little bit. Apologies.
It rises for a whole minute? So where can we find this current?
The coordinates change each time, but it happens 5 times a month.
We'll be blown to smithereens,
Goes Usopp.
But it's impossible to truly describe such a majestic natural phenomena in mere words.
But that means, unless this unpredictable current erupted right under the drifting cloud mass.
Yes, it would all be for nothing. Your whole ship would be flung into the sky and come crashing down into the sea, killing everyone aboard. And even if you manage to get atop the Emperor Cloud, you'll still come crashing down if Skypiea doesn't exist up there.
All right, let's forget Skypiea. Too bad, Luffy. This is impossible. After all, only a lucky guy would have any chance of making it.
We'll be fine. Let's go. And Luffy's just not paying any mind to it whatsoever.
Fine. How can you take things so lightly? Look at the Mary go. She's a wreck. That current will smash her into kindling.
He's right. That ship would never make it, even if it were brand new.
What?
And Usopp gets upset that someone is talking about how the Mary's not in a good state, even though he literally just said that the Mary was in a wreck. He's the one that said that the Mary was in a wreck, and he's getting insulted by someone saying that the Mary is a wreck.
He's right. That ship would never make it, even if it were brand new.
What?
Speed, gravity, intensity, the explosion of water would tear it to pieces.
See? Get it? It's hopeless!
But don't worry, your ship can be reinforced. I'll have Mashira and Shoujo help you.
Yeah!
Leave it to us!
We're counting on you! And then Nami and Usopp are just going,
Why'd they have to butt in? Do you understand what this means? We can only stay on this island for one more day. Any longer than that, and the log post will lock on to the next island.
what?
Right? See? We don't have time! Hey, mister, I don't know if you can answer this question, but when will the knock-up stream and the Emperor Cloud come together next? In a few days? A few months? Years?
Tomorrow at noon. If you're going to try it, be ready.
Ah! So we will be in time!
What? Well, if you're that afraid, forget it.
And then Usopp just goes,
You're lying! The coincidence is too incredible! We just met you today! And why are you being so helpful anyway? And besides,
hey, Usopp,
you shut up! You're telling me that the only time we can go to this legendary Sky Island is tomorrow? And you're even willing to fix the ship and help us get there? This is all way too convenient. What's your game? You're a descendant of Nolan the Liar. I don't trust you.
ain't that the pot calling the kettle black?
We can't trust a person who's a liar. We can't trust the story of a person who's a liar.
Also, Usopp,
I have 8,000 men who serve under me.
yeah, pot calling the kettle black.
You're a descendant of Nolan the Liar. I don't trust you.
Lying sharpshooter Usopp is literally in every volume description. So ironic.
Boss, food's ready. We're in for a treat today.
This guy's amazing. It's so delicious.
I told you I'm a first-class cook. Time to eat, Nami! And then it just has the wind howling as it cuts to them both. As it cuts to Usopp staring down Mont Blanc.
Come on, put him up.
And then Mont Blanc smoking takes his cigarette out and goes,
Whenever the daytime night is spotted in Masuda's territory, the Emperor Cloud appears the next day in the southern sky. Looking at the rotation of the monthly explosions, the knock-up stream is bound to erupt tomorrow, and it will occur just south of here. It's not a certainty, but the odds are good. I'm glad I got to meet you fools. Now let's eat. You can rest here today, comrades.
and that word triggers Usopp as Mont Blanc wants past him, and Luffy's just going, time to eat! Hurry, Usopp!
Hurry up! Chopper! Chopper! Call Robin.
Okay.
And then Usopp just realizes that he's literally been beaten without Mont Blanc raising a single fist.
Looks like this is our one chance. We'll have to go for it. But ultimately, it all depends on luck. Nami, am I just a pitiful coward? Yup, and an idiot too. But I understand how you feel. Now go apologize. I'm sorry, mister!
You're getting snot on me.
As it cuts to a shadow of Usopp jumping onto Mont Blanc. Then, it cuts to the outside view of Mont Blanc's place, and then everyone's just eating. Everyone's eating on the inside of the house.
This is good grog. Eat up! There's a course of mackerel coming.
And then it cuts to Masuda eating, and then his mouth explodes in fire as Usopp puts some Tabasco sauce on it.
Gotcha, salvage monkey! Tabasco bomb!
Ooh, you long-nosed buffoon!
And then it cuts to Luffy and everyone else laughing as Masuda is preparing to beat up Usopp. And he's still chasing him while everyone is eating. And then Robin is just looking at everyone.
Hey, pretty lady, come sit over here. Keep your paws off of Nami.
As it cuts to Sanji, keep your paws off of Nami. As it cuts to Sanji, who's trying to push back Cricket with his foot.
Wow, you can really drink.
I'm just getting started, goes Zoro. Then it cuts to Robin, who's sitting off on her own reading. And then it cuts to Mont Blanc, who's just directly in front of her face, going,
I saw the gold in the skull's right eye.
Gold?
And that we get a ka-ching sound because Nami pays attention to it.
That tear-blotted sentence was the last thing Nolan wrote on the day he was executed. After all this time on Jaya, I still don't know what it means. The right eye of the skull? Was that the name of a lost city? Or an omen of death? The remaining blank pages don't offer any explanations. That's why we dive. We see our dreams at the bottom of the sea. That's right!
Yahoo! We're gonna fly! We're gonna fly to the sky!
Yeah! Everyone is just enjoying themselves.
It's getting dark, but I see it. Bellamy. Get ready to land. Dream-seeking fools don't deserve gold bullion.
As apparently Bellamy is slowly making his way closer and closer to Mont Blanc and his place. That's the end of chapter 229. Onwards to 230. Pursue the South Bird.
May 21st, 1122. Arrived on Jaya.
Nolan! Nolan!
When we got to the island, we heard the strange cries of a jungle bird, and the tolling of a giant bell. The sound that giant bell of pure gold made resonated and resonated, as if to celebrate the untold riches of the ancient city. Throughout these vast seas over countless generations, a great civilization blossomed. Those of us whose lives span but a few decades and think we know everything are left speechless. The sound of the bell stopped us in our tracks.
As it cuts to Mont Blanc just retelling all these stories from Nolan. Nolan, you're amazing! You are so amazing!
A huge bell of pure gold. You know, I think you actually like Nolan.
As it cuts to Usopp and everyone just enjoying the festivities.
Look at this.
A bell of pure gold! It doesn't look that giant to me.
I didn't say it was that bell. That's a bell-shaped ingot. I found 3 of them on the ocean floor.
Then there really is a city of gold.
No, that doesn't prove anything. An amount this small can crop up in any ruins.
What's an ingot?
And then it cuts to Chopper, who's looking at these small pieces that Cricket pulled up. And then it cuts to Robin.
Still, it does prove that there was a civilization in this region once. Ingots are created as a weight standard. They're used for trading.
And that strange bird that's mentioned in that passage. Hey, Masuda, Roy!
Whoa, there's more!
That one's big. As Masuda takes out a big bird-shaped golden statue.
And this is the last one. Not much to show for 10 years of diving.
Oh, it's beautiful!
What is it, a penguin?
Bells of pure gold and a bird. I wonder if those were the symbols of ancient Jaya. Can't know for sure. I think it was once part of a statue. This is a southbird. This is a southbird. They're still found on this island.
Does it have a strange cry?
Yes, just like it's mentioned in the ship's log.
And while this is being said, Nami is just like touching on the golden statue because she's just taken aback by all the gold.
Speaking of the southbird, the ancient mariners wrote of it.
Funny looking bird, by the way. Yeah, it is. It is.
Speaking of the southbird, the ancient mariners wrote of it. Blast!
What?
What's wrong?
This is bad. You have to go into the jungle. Go south.
Huh? What are you saying, mister? Are you crazy?
You've got to catch one of these birds. Hurry!
Why? How come?
Why do we need a bird? Listen carefully. The knock-up stream is located directly south of here. But how will you get there?
Can't we just go straight?
This is the Grand Line. Once you're out to sea, there's no way to know your directions.
I get it. The log post can only guide us to an island. It's no good for finding a patch of water, and our compass won't work here. So how will we know if we're heading south?
You'll have to rely on the southbird. Some animals have an innate sense of direction.
Right. I've heard of that, like pigeons and salmon.
Hey, Zoro, you're worse than an animal.
You should talk. The southbird is the best of them all. No matter where it is on land or sea, its instincts always show it the right direction. You've got to get one. You'll never get to the Sky Island without it.
What?
Goes Usopp, Luffy, and Chopper. Stream's trying to mess with me today. They're attempting to mess with me today. They don't want the quality of my stream to be smooth. But I will not be stopped. I will not be stopped.
You've got to get one. You'll never get to the Sky Island without it.
Usopp, Luffy, and Chopper can just go, "What? Why didn't you tell us this sooner?"
It's the middle of the night. You expect us to go off into the jungle now?
It's the middle of the night. You expect us to go off into the jungle now?
Quit whining. There's no time. We'll get to work on your ship now. We'll get to work on your ship right now. We shouldn't have been partying in the first place.
It's a bit late to be saying that now.
Now listen, you need to find a southbird before sunrise.
It buffered a little. It was just a... Well, okay, so it didn't buffer on my end. It just told me that... It didn't buffer on my end. It just told me that it wasn't receiving enough information. But let me go back. Let me make sure that nothing got lost in translation while I was doing that. No, we're still good. We're still good. So it didn't buffer on my end. It just dropped a couple of frames for a quick moment there. We're still good. We got to continue. We got to keep going. No interruptions.
We shouldn't have been partying in the first place.
It's a bit late to be saying that now.
Now listen, you need to find a southbird before sunrise. Do not fail.
And then it cuts to the Straw Hat crew as they're walking through the forest in pitch black darkness. Whoa! It's pitch dark!
Don't hang on to me.
I'm so full I can't walk. I'm so full I can't walk.
As Usopp is hanging on to Sanji because he's scared. Let's get this bird quick and get back to drinking.
How did we end up out here?
As everyone is just walking in the forest trying to find this bird.
Jeez, why didn't he have us do this before it got dark?
Where is this bird? If I knew that, we wouldn't be wandering around in this jungle.
The only clue is its weird cry. It looks just like that bird of gold.
Does a bird that looks like that really exist?
And what kind of weird cry? That's too vague.
The guy said we'd know it when we heard it.
Choo! Whoa, that's a weird cry. That's it.
All right, let's get it. We have 3 nets. We'll split into 3 teams. Okay, let's smash that bird.
Yeah. No, we have to catch that bird.
Team number 1, Sanji and Usopp and Nami. Don't worry, Nami. Whatever happens, I'll protect you.
What about me, Sanji?
You're on your own. Quit being such a wimp.
Let's just find this bird and get out of here,
goes Nami. Let's listen for that cry again.
Joel! Hey, that's it. Joel! Here, birdie! Why you?
Because apparently it's Usopp screaming out this bird cry.
Hey, that's pretty cool, Nami. Where'd you find it?
What?
And there's a big old spider crawling up Nami's back.
What? It's only a spider.
I hate spiders. Throw it away!
Drop it, Usopp. It's probably poisonous.
Ah! They're falling from the trees! No! I can't stand it!
It's probably a type of tarantula. Don't worry, they won't bite you if you don't scare them. I used to play Spider War when I was a kid.
And it just shows a whole bunch of spiders all near Usopp while Sanji and Nami hide in the bushes.
Well, I'm not into creepy crawlies, no thanks.
Me neither. Absolutely no way. I hate them. Toss it far away. Hurry!
Huh. But I guess you guys don't mind all the moths and centipedes over there then.
And there's just a ton of moths and centipedes crawling over a tree right next to Sanji and Nami. And they just scream their heads off.
I hate moths and centipedes too! Ah!
And then it cuts to team number 2, Zoro and Robin.
I hear screaming.
Ignore it. As it cuts to a big old centipede that Zoro has promptly beaten down. A centipede. Wow, it's huge. And it's big enough where the centipede is longer than Zoro's entire body.
You don't have to kill them, poor things.
Don't lecture me. It's their own fault for challenging me. Anyway, I still don't trust you. Don't you forget that.
But
What?
that's the path we just came from.
Joel!
This boy out here sound like, I don't trust you. And he's walking in the wrong direction. You gonna have to trust Robin because her sense of direction is far better than yours. Luffy literally just said that Zoro's sense of direction is worse than an animal's. His sense of direction is literally worse than an animal.
That's the path we just came from.
Joel!
That cry. This way. Watch out, it's slippery there.
Hey, wait up. And then we cut to team number 3, Luffy and Chopper.
I got it!
Look, Chopper, an Atlas beetle.
Atlas?
Yeah, the Atlas and the Hercules are treasured all over the world.
They are? Are they as valuable as the One Piece?
That's a tough one.
Luffy, there's something here too!
It's a stag beetle. Catch it!
And then it cuts to a bird that looks just like the bird they need to find up in the trees.
Joel! Joel!
No! It's flying away!
Catch it! Don't let it get away!
What a huge spider!
It's in the way! Kick it!
And then, right where this big bird that looks like the bird is, this big bird that looks like what they're looking for, a bee's nest just drops right in front of Luffy and Chopper. Huh?
A beehive! Run!
And then another beehive drops right next to both Luffy and Chopper, right after they stop running a big distance away from the last one they just ran from.
What's going on in this jungle? Huh? Luffy, look!
A bird?
It's the bird! He's the one that dropped the beehive!
Joel! Joel!
Huh?
What? What did it say?
Whoever invades this jungle will die!
Wow, so this bird has been out here trying to kill everybody. This is a murder bird. This ain't a murder of crows, this is just a murder bird. It's trying to get everybody killed. This bird is trying to get everybody killed through comedic hijinks. Then we cut back to Mont Blanc and everyone.
Hey, don't make us mad. It's not nice to show up in the middle of the night demanding gold. Beat it. So you're his bodyguards, eh? I remember a pirate named Cricket. I heard the sad story of the Mont Blanc family in town.
The smirk on the bird, yeah, he's all like, Like he has that type of smirk. He's all like like he enjoys the misery of others.
I remember a pirate named Cricket. I heard the sad story of the Montblanc family in town. I was moved to tears. It's so much more rewarding to steal someone's treasure when they've suffered a lot to get it in the first place. Want to know what people call me? The hyena!
And that's the end of chapter 230. We got an SBS, and then we can move on to chapter 231. Reader, hello, ×2. They're saying it twice. Pleased to meet you, Oda-sensei. Nami uses the tornado feature of her climate baton, tornado tempo feature of her climate baton a lot. But what does tempo mean? Please tell me. Oda, tempo means weather in Italian. Tempo. I like the way it sounds. Question. Mr. 3 has devil fruit powers, so how come in volume 19, page 185, page 3, he's floating on the water? Question. Answer. I got a lot of inquiries about this one. There were lots of guesses too. However, you're all wrong. There's a good reason for this. There just happened to be a big piece of floating wood under Mr. 3's body. Mr. 3 was floating on top of it. Anyway, on average, the buoyancy of a human is about 3 splays. A sumo wrestler is about 5 splays. But that huge piece of wood was especially magnificent and had a record buoyancy of 13 splays. That's according to Flotus Stretchington. So that kind of explains how he was floating in the water after Luffy and company escaped from the cage that the banana gators were, getting closer to. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. I'll come right to the point. Did you get the name Bellamy the Hyena from the English pirate Samuel Black Sam Bellamy? Answer. That's right. Bellamy was a notorious and very talkative pirate, but maybe he was more like a lion than a hyena because he loved an audience. Chapter 231, Bellamy the Hyena. And then it cuts to Luffy and Chopper running away as fast as they can from these giant flying praying. They look like giant flying praying mantises, and they're moving fast enough that they had to dodge out of the way. Here they come! Duck! Chopper jumps over one while Luffy ducks under one, and they're moving so fast that these crickets, these giant praying they look like giant praying mantises, are capable of carving straight through a tree in a clean cut. A giant praying mantis? This is too much! And the net that Luffy had is completely destroyed by this giant praying mantis with its extremely sharp mandibles and claws. What kind of a jungle is this? Ah! The net! Jaw! And then Chopper looks back as the Joe bird, as the South bird, is just smirking at them like,
It's that bird!
What?
The South bird is giving orders to the bugs!
But why would a bird give orders to the bugs?
Jaw! Jaw! I hear it. Where's it coming from?
Hold it. I hear something else. And then something starts barreling towards Sanji, Usopp, and Nami on Team 2. Well, Team 1. What's that? A rock? It's coming this way!
Are they dung balls from a dung beetle? No, they're insects!
And then it cuts. Oh, the insects are ladybugs, but they're all rolling towards Sanji and company, trying to, crush them.
Ladybugs!
They're huge! Ow! As Usopp gets hit by one, but but Nami's hiding behind Sanji.
Jaw!
There's no end to this. Now an army of grasshoppers is attacking us. Out of my way! You think you can beat me, huh?
I heard the bird just now. A slug! Get some salt! Salt! Sanji, do a summer salt kick!
Right. Are you nuts?
Jaw!
I can't stand running away. Bring it on!
Luffy, better not! Hornets have a nasty sting! Firefly?
Fireflies!
Oh, pretty. No, cockroaches! Ah, pigs! Jaw! Jaw!
This bird is really enjoying the misery right now. Sorry, I had to turn down the volume just a little bit. And then it cuts to Bellamy holding that same bird statue.
Look at this. It's beautiful. You're not worthy to touch that.
Worthy? Does this make us worthy? As it cuts to Sarkis, who's bearing down. Cuts to Sarkis, who's bearing down on Cricket, because Cricket has been bloody, because Bellamy and his dudes have been beating up on him, and apparently Mashida as well. Big chop! As Sarkis somersaults, but Masuda stands up. Masuda stands up, and he gets in the way of Sarkis, and he takes that full blow straight up the back. Getting cut in your front is one thing, but getting cut in the back, you can't even physically begin to understand how painful that is. I've been cut up the back before. Now, mind you, I don't have the scar anymore because it's healed over the years, but I've been cut up the back, and this was back when I was living in Oklahoma. Story time. We went to this place called Lake Scott, which was right next to a place called Mount Scott. During that time, I was a child at the time. I don't think I was even 10 years old. I saw some kids messing with this old merry-go-round. Mind you, it's not the merry-go-round we have today where it's all round and it doesn't have any edges. This one was specifically an octagon-like shape merry-go-round, and it was old, so its edges were fine. So I saw a lot of kids having fun on the merry-go-round, and I thought, you know what, that'd be fun. I can get on that. So I get on there, not thinking that I would need a lot of grip strength in order to, hold on, because I saw kids being spun around quickly, and I'm thinking, that looks fun. I'm going to get on it. I, against my better judgment, got on this merry-go-round, and it wasn't long until the big kids, because there were a lot of big kids, started spinning the merry-go-round so fast that I was holding on as much as I could, but I lost my grip. And I flew off of the merry-go-round. Unfortunately, I did not fly far enough away. I didn't fly far enough away from the merry-go-round for me to be safely away from its rapidly spinning edges. So, as I fly off the merry-go-round, my back is turned, and before I can even move and right myself and realize what has happened, one of the edges of the merry-go-round hits me directly in the back and carves a big old line straight up my back. To the point where my mom could see that there was a big old gash that went up my back because of this merry-go-round. And for the longest time, and the thing is, I didn't cry, but I couldn't feel my back for hours. And after my body subsided, that's when the pain started to set in. That's when the gash really I started to feel it. And it was for a while, I couldn't really feel my back for a very long time. It's like hitting your funny bone, but it's just so painful that there really isn't any pain, but your mind cannot process it. I still remember it to this day. On occasion, I still feel it when I think about it because I remember the sensation of a big old metal corner of a merry-go-round carving up my back. So when I see this big old cut go up Mashida's back, it just draws me back to my childhood when I suffered that injury. I can't tell if I have that scar on my back because I don't really look at my back much, but it's probably gone now since it was way back when. But seeing that happen to Mashida, it kind of felt personal to me because I suffered a cut up my back as well, though not as, intentional as it happened to Mashida. But getting back to the story. Sorry, that was just a little bit of a story time, but this moment just reminded me of how I got carved up the back once, just like Mashida just did. Big chop! Ugh! And it shows Mashida as his eyes completely wide over.
The fool! Mashida! We're stronger than you guys. That makes us worthy of your treasure. Stand aside, boss! Having sonar!
As Shoujo starts using his voice to try and repel Bellamy and all of his crewmates.
Who are you? Wait, Sarkis. I'll fix that ape. Not that again. The power of the boing boing fruit.
Now we get to find out what Bellamy's devil fruit is, as his legs turn into what it looks like springs, like recoiled springs, and he crouches down.
Run, Shoujo! Spring! Snipe!
And the recoil of his legs shoot off, and so does Bellamy, and he goes head first. He goes head first towards Shoujo, and all we see is Shoujo's face getting pulled to the side as Cricket screams out, "Shoujo!" And we see Bellamy, with the recoil and power of this punch, hitting Shoujo so hard that he's sent flying not only from the area they're fighting in, but through the house and back into the sea.
Let's go. Load up the gold. Let's go. Load up the gold.
Boss, we found gold. It's a bell-shaped ingot.
See?
And it cuts to Cricket, who's just thinking about how Mashida and Shoujo have helped him in the past.
See? Just like in the ship's log. There's a part about the bell right here. Grow up, old man. Nolan's El Dorado was a fantasy. If you want to become a pirate of the new age, you better learn that dreams never come true.
And then he just starts laughing at him.
El Dorado exists. Ooh!
Oh, settle down, settle down. You'll wreck the house.
As Cricket just thinks back. Cricket just thinks back to when he was just chilling with Shoujo and Mashida.
Hold on, pup.
And then Cricket lights a cigarette.
A spineless whelp that beats people's dreams out of them has no right to call himself a pirate.
And then Bellamy stops and turns back and looks at Cricket and goes,
"What did you say?"
Then it cuts back to the forest. Scam likely. Get off of my phone. You have no business with me, and I with you. And then it cuts back to the Straw Hat crew in the forest. It's no use. We didn't even get a feather from that bird.
We saw one.
We saw one, but those bugs won't let us get near it.
We had to run away.
Shape up, you guys. There are 7 of us, and we got nothing.
You shape up, knucklehead.
I'm spent. I can't run. I can't run another step.
Joe! Hey! Joe!
He's saying, "Ha ha, you can't catch me."
What? Is he taunting us? I'll shoot you down!
Then, before this bird can say anything, hands appear right next to the bird, and then grip tightly and smack it out of the tree.
Joe!
As long as I can see it.
And it's Robin. Robin just coming in clutch. She literally did it's kind of an OP power when you think about it. You can make limbs appear literally anywhere. If she can see you, you're already within her range. That's a scary devil fruit power. I'm sorry, it is. Diamond Head Guy! Monstera! Shoujo! And it cuts to the Straw Hat crew getting back to Mont Blanc and everyone else.
Who did this to them? Hey, help me!
Okay.
And then Chopper helps out Sanji get Shoujo out of the ocean.
Look! The merry-go! What the? Who would do such a thing?
And it shows that the Mary has been heavily, and when I say heavily, I mean heavily damaged. The front half of the ship has just been messed up. Like, it's off. The front half of the ship is off. Their ship is almost split into 3 pieces, just like Don Krieg's ship was by Mihawk.
Sorry.
Hey, mister, are you okay?
I'm sorry. We failed. We couldn't stop them. But there's still time before sunrise. We can fix the ship and...
Hold it, mister, just tell us what happened. And you wonder why so many people love Robin? Look, her devil fruit power is unparalleled.
It doesn't matter. It's nothing. You got the South Bird. Well done.
Joel.
That's good.
Luffy!
And then it cuts back to Nami.
The gold ingots are gone!
And this gets Luffy's attention. And everyone else's attention as well.
Yes. Gone. But it doesn't matter. Forget about them. You have to.
How can you say that? You died for 10 years to find that gold. You almost killed yourself for it.
Quiet. It doesn't matter. That's our problem. Listen, if the entire Monkey Mountain Allied force gets to work preparing your ship, you can still make it. We'll have it ready by morning. You people get ready to sail. I will not fail. You're going up to the sky.
Mister, now you'd better.
Luffy. And then Zoro points back to a Jolly Roger that is drawn on a part of Mont Blanc Cricket's house.
That's Bellamy's mark.
Need help? No, I can handle them.
Yo!
I understand why people, reading this chapter for myself, it brings like a sense of, I know the events, yet at the same time, I am still excited to read through this chapter and view it with my own eyes. I am sorry. Need help? No, I can handle them.
No way, Luffy! Don't even think about doing anything crazy. We have to sail in just 3 hours.
If I follow the coast, I'll come to that town, right? Yes, goes Robin.
Kid, where are you going? Don't do anything rash. You don't know who you're dealing with.
And then Zoro puts his sword in front of Mont Blanc, in front of Cricket, and goes, if you want to stop him, you'll have to use this. And then Luffy, cracking his knuckles, goes, I'll be back by sunrise. And his eyes are shadowed over, so this man is upset. This man is upset! The worst thing you could possibly do is injure an individual that Luffy's grown used to, and especially if that person gives him food. Worst thing you can do is mess with them. I mean, what did we learn back at Whiskey Peak? He thought Zoro messed up all the people that gave him food until he understood the situation. He was ready to throw hands with his very own first mate over that. But that's the end of chapter 231. Onwards to 232. The 100 Million Berry Man. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is the chapter. I'm excited! Let's go! I can't wait to read it. And it cuts to some dude just peeing into the ocean. What a waste. Every drop I drank is coming out. What a waste. Rest in peace. Thanks be to the gods of grog. Not that there is such a thing. And then one of the news seagulls flies in. That's better. I'm dry as a bone. I don't even have a drop of sweat left. Oh, the newspaper. I wonder what's happening in the world today. Huh? This ain't a newspaper. They're wanted posters. What a lawless town. I'm sick and tired of seeing more bad guys. It's those weaklings from earlier today. Wanting to go to a sky island. What a laugh. They were worth about 3 million or so. Huh? Huh? I must be younger than I thought. Let's see. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions. It can't be. I've had too much to drink. 100,000 millions to 10 millions. 100 million berries. And that's when this dude starts sweating bullets as he starts to sober up and realize what's going on. And then we cut back to Luffy making his way along the coast.
3 hours, Luffy. If we set sail any later than that...
And then Luffy almost trips.
We'll miss our only chance to go to the Sky Island.
Then it cuts back to Chopper taking care of Cricket.
This man's probably been diving deep day after day without giving his body time to compress.
And then to Cricket.
This is my battle with the man who ruined my life.
And then it cuts to Cricket again, after he got beaten up.
Sorry. I'm sorry. We failed. We couldn't stop them.
And then Luffy, thinking more and more about all these moments, seeing Cricket, hearing his story, then seeing him beaten up. Luffy gets even angrier, and he starts picking up speed. Those creeps! Then it cuts back to the tavern where everyone's laughing.
Those monkeys were so funny with those comical bodies and bloody faces and snot streaming from their noses, crying, "Boss, boss!"
Then it cuts to Sarkis.
If he was so precious to them, they should have protected him better. Right? How lame!
What could they do against you and Bellamy? The captain's one tough rookie. He's already got a bounty of 55 million berries on his head.
Bad news!
What's all the ruckus? What's all this ruckus in the middle of the night?
Those guys! The ones who were here earlier! Bellamy, you're still here? You gotta hide! Quick! You're in danger! They'll kill you! What are you talking about? Who's gonna kill me?
Then we cut to the sky as the wind howls and someone drops their drink and they're in utter silence. And then they all start sweating bullets as this man explains.
100 million?
60 million?
Not only does Luffy have a higher bounty than Bellamy, but Zoro has one as well. And Bellamy wasted no time in trying to beat them up on their first encounter without knowing how high their bounties were at all. Their true bounties, that is.
100 million? 60 million?
Those guys from today are worth more than you are, Bellamy!
Whoa, this is bad. We made fun of the wrong guys. You think they'll remember my face? We gotta get out of here. I've never met anybody worth 100 million berries.
And then Bellamy just starts laughing.
Hey! Look at you fools, wetting yourselves over a piece of paper. Are you blind? You saw him with your own eyes.
And then Luffy's already in town, because you see his foot right there in town stamp onto the ground.
Made it. Haven't you ever heard of pirates like that? Printing up fake wanted posters about himself to impress fools like you. Idiots take one look at the bounty and head back down. And at the bounty and back down. They get scared and give up without a fight, even though they could win. Just like you guys right now. You've seen how puny he is, but look at you. Disgusting.
Oh, so that's it. Blast those dogs for fooling us like that.
Bellamy's right. Anybody worth 100 million berries must have done some terrible deeds. So why ain't there nothing about him in the newspapers?
You're right, I never heard of no Straw Hat Gang.
So that's it? Curse them scaring us like that.
Ha ha ha! And then we get a loud, Bellamy! Where are you? And then everyone spits out their drink over the person screaming. And then there's silence.
Who wants to know?
And then Bellamy is in the front of the tavern. He walks to the front of the tavern and looks out as Luffy goes, "Hey!" And Bellamy looks up and Luffy's at the top of a tower in the town.
Well, we were just talking about you. You got business with me?
Yeah, give me the gold you took from the Diamond Head man.
Gold? You mean old man Crickets?
And then it shows Bellamy using his boing boing powers to spring up to where Luffy is, and he lands on the roof right across from Luffy.
Why should I return it? That's loot I took as a pirate. You may be a pirate too, but you're in no position to make demands.
Sure I am. Those guys are my friends, and I'm taking their gold back.
Can you even fight? Do you even know how to throw a punch? What can a coward like you do to me?
And then it cuts to the same dude. It cuts to the guy holding the bounty poster going, "That's him! No mistake!"
Are you still hanging on to that? Tear it up and throw it away.
But if this poster is for real... If he really is worth 100 million berries, even Bellamy...
Ridiculous. Look at him. Does that kid look dangerous to you? 30 million would be too much for him. If you stand there shaking like you did earlier today, you won't be taking anything back from me, coward.
That was different.
Oh, so what? So what's changed this time? I'll teach you a lesson you won't live to forget.
As Bellamy bounces off of the roof, and he uses his boing boing powers to cause the recoil to cause the roof to shake from its very foundation and make Luffy almost fall.
The tower! It'll only take a second. Spring snipe!
And then Luffy dodges out of the way. Luffy dodges out of the way and dodges Bellamy. He's still coming straight down! Run! And then we see Luffy land on the ground.
That won't kill you.
Whoa! He's up! And Luffy's just back up. He's fine.
Spring hopper!
And then Bellamy just starts bouncing all over the place. Remember earlier on in this arc, not in this volume, but in the last one, we saw what looked like potch marks all over the city, as if something was bombarded in the town. It was Bellamy.
Bellamy disappeared! This is just like what he did to Roshio the Executioner. You're their friend? Come to think of it, you're a lot like that old man and those monkeys. You believe the 400-year-old lies of his fool ancestor. What city of gold? What Sky Island? The age of dreaming is over. You're a disgrace to all pirates.
And then Luffy just slowly raises his fists. And he goes, "You want to see me land a punch?
Get up, Bellamy! That fool doesn't deserve to live in the real world. So long, Straw Hat!"
And then, before Bellamy can even get within a hair's breadth of Luffy, Luffy brings his fist down, and mind you, Bellamy is moving at such a speed that no one can track where he is. Luffy, with one punch, and in a beautifully drawn double spread panel, brings his fist down and bodies Bellamy instantly, robbing this man of all speed, of all power, of all momentum. It's almost as if this man wasn't traveling at high speeds at all. This is when an almost unstoppable force meets a completely immovable object. Just boom! Just brings it right down on Bellamy. And the hit is so hard that you see the indentation of Luffy's punch on the side of Bellamy's face. And that is the end of 232. Encore! Bravo! Bellissimo! Magnifico! To see this on the panels, it's all like, that's a spicy meatball. That's so nice. Buttery smooth even. But onwards to chapter 233, but before that, we got another SPS. Question, I'll dispense with formalities. Why does Zoro wear his swords at his right hip? They're usually worn on the left. Answer, well, because if Zoro doesn't weigh down his right side, he leans to the left, casually. Oh, so now here's a question from me. In volume 21, chapter 194, Cutting Steel, you can see Zoro with his swords at his left hip, right? And on page 154, where are his scabbards? And it is true that hardly any of you readers notice this obvious error. Yes, that's true, and is it also true that though aware of the mistake, it was left untouched for the simple reason that there were too many panels to fix? Yes, it is, which inspires a haiku. Poor Oda Sensei is tired again today. Weather is so nice. Thank you very much, Sensei. Don't mention it. Question, I have a serious question for you, Oda-sensei. Why is it that in the manga world, people always understand whatever language is being spoken no matter where they go? By Chobi. Answer, because manga is about people's dreams. Chapter 233, The World's Greatest Power. And then it just shows Bellamy cratered into the floorboards of Jaya, because Jaya has like floorboard streets. And he's just lying there. And it's just silence. That's Luffy standing over him. And everyone is just like, huh? And Luffy's fist is bloodied from, leaving his permanent mark on Bellamy's face. Just right here. See, it's one thing to get punched in the face and knocked out. It's another to get hit in the temple. That's one of the surefire ways to knock a person out, because getting hit in the temple is very easy. You can get knocked out easily, but with Luffy, this man put every ounce of strength into it. This man is asleep. He is asleep. And then Luffy just puts his hat back on. And then cuts to Sarkis.
Huh? You're joking, right, Bellamy? Hey, don't get around. Say something.
And Bellamy's not moving.
Come on, Bellamy. Quit fooling around. Get up and do your thing. Bellamy, you're a heavyweight rookie with a 55 million berry bounty on your head.
And then it cuts to Sarkis remembering what was said earlier.
Bad news! Those guys from today!
And then that same bounty poster from Luffy that says he's a 100 million berry man.
Those guys from today are worth more than you are, Bellamy!
And that's when everyone gets terrified. And everyone starts screaming,
See? I told you so!
I want the old man's gold. Give it now. Give it now.
Ah! He's for real! Bellamy's been beaten!
And everyone just screams. And then we cut back to the area where to Mont Blanc's place, to Cricket's place.
Ooh, fix the ship. Ooh.
Mefa! Ooh, Mefa! Ooh, Mefa! Yeah, Mefa! Yeah,
Man, that's what I picture Mashita and his group would be saying that if they're working as well. I that's just me. I'm making it up. I'm sorry.
All right, raise the bow! Why didn't you go with him?
Huh? Don't fight. Fight. Don't go. Go. Make up your mind.
But they beat you up too. Don't you want revenge?
Get beat up. Those guys weren't worth it. It's heartbreaking when you're left with only pity after a fight.
What? Are you stupid?
Shut up. Move. You're in my way.
Hey, Mosshead, what was that you said to Nami just now?
Huh?
I need some boards over here. Boards! Yes, sir! Oh, you're really useful, raccoon dog. I'm a reindeer!
And then it cuts to Luffy, who leaves with the gold that belongs to Cricket, and everyone is still staring at him, with Sarkis kneeling right next to Bellamy, who's still face first in the ground, not moving.
That brat just got lucky. Hey, you! Wait, I'm still here!
Sarkis, don't do it!
Come at me! No starry-eyed fool is gonna beat us! Strawhead, where do you think you're going?
Where? And then Luffy looks like his fist is about to clench again, which is enough to scare Sarkis to falling to the ground, and Luffy just points upwards and goes, the sky. Where? The sky. And he's just so casual about it. Then we cut to another location. The previous afternoon, on an island on the Grand Line.
Captain! Captain!
What?
Are you sure this is the place?
Is this really the legendary cave where bloody old Captain John hid his treasure?
Yes, so keep digging, and be wary. There are usually booby traps and guards protecting these hidden troves. If you're careless, you'll die. You never know what ferocious beast might leap out at you.
And both Kabaji and Moji gulp, because we are back with Buggy and company.
Or there could be deadly traps.
And then all the lights get turned on. Yeah, they're walking through here and they decide, you know what? We're just going to turn on all the lights inside of this cave. All right, let's get to work digging this tunnel, because this area where they're supposedly, apparently this cave that looked like there was all dark was already a cave being worked on by other people. And like the lights just turn on. Such a comedic moment. They're all in the dark thing like,
We need to make our way through here. We don't know what traps are in here.
and then someone just flips the switch and was like, all right, man, let's get back to work. Aye, aye, boss. You the new guys?
Huh? It feels good to work up a sweat, eh, boss?
Right. Our hard work and sweat will dig this tunnel and be rewarded with everyone's smiles.
A cold brew after hard labor is really refreshing. Hey! Why are you making me work up a sweat?
And then apparently Buggy blows up the whole area they're in. And then it cuts to Buggy and his crew later on. The lighting in the cave panel is stunning. It really is. It's hilarious because they're making it seem like they're walking through this dark tunnel and they only have like this small torch to light their way. Then someone flips the switch and the whole place just lights up. Like they just being dramatic for no reason. Then it cuts to Moji and Kabaji. Captain Buggy, we didn't find Captain John's treasure.
Moji, you fool, don't embarrass the captain. He obviously had us digging on the wrong island. Huh, are you trying to make him turn red?
Who said my nose is big and red? Well?
They're worth 100 million and 60 million. They're bona fide Grand Line pirates now.
May their reputations continue to grow.
What?
It's like what a witch says. Before you eat a child, you should fatten him up first. Understand? The higher the bounty on the Straw Hats.
I get it. Your reputation will grow all the more when you beat him.
Yeah! That's right!
That's brilliant, Captain. Shall we celebrate?
Aye, let's live it up!
And then it cuts to everyone just clowning around, literally. Pun intended or not intended, whichever is your choice. They're just messing around on the ship, and Alvida goes,
Quit clowning around. You don't even know where Luffy is, so how do you intend to catch him? Relax, Alvida. What's wrong with a little celebration?
Hey, I know where you can find Luffy.
You see, he's gonna tell us. Who the blazes are you?
Oh, my apologies for crashing your party. I was lured here by the wonderful smell of food. My name's Ace. Nice to meet you. Please
forget the formalities. It's nice to... Who are you? I don't care what your name is. What are you doing here?
Captain, that's Fire Fist!
Fire Fist Ace?
The 2nd Division commander of the Whitebeard Pirates?
Whitebeard?
You know the boss? How nice. And then while Ace is there, first and foremost, he's just up there on Buggy's ship just chilling. And then he's eating food and he falls asleep mid-sentence, mid-bite. You know the bice? You know the bice. I know what I said. It's on the internet now. Thank you. You know the boss? How nice.
He fell asleep.
Now's our chance. If we capture Fire Fist Ace, our reputations will skyrocket.
No! Now listen, me hearties, and remember this well. No matter what happens, we must never harass any member of Whitebeard's crew. Whitebeard is the only man who ever fought Gold Roger and lived. His strength is...
Sorry. Okay, I'm good.
His strength is legendary. He's the world's most powerful living pirate, and the one closest to the One Piece. And Whitebeard never forgives anyone who kills one of his men. That's the kind of man he is. You seem to know an awful lot about him. Naturally. A long time ago, I met him on the Grand Line.
So, you know the old man?
He's awake!
Boss, Bice, in Kyushunese. Kyushunese! I can't believe I'm getting my own language made up right here. Today, of all days, seriously. So, you know the old man?
He's awake!
Hey, don't let me stop you. It's a party, right? Let's live it up.
He's right! It's a party!
You can hold your own.
Drink!
Hey, a lion, come here. Jump through this ring of fire.
Go on, Richie!
Oh! Sacred land, Marijois. What? Red-haired Shanks. Yes, strange movements. Yes, strange movements are afoot.
Though he hasn't made any move himself.
Yes, he has sent our envoys. He has sent out envoys, but any contact between Whitebeard and Shanks would be catastrophic.
That's true.
Shanks could do a lot of damage, but I don't think his ambitions include world conquest.
We should assess the situation before making any hasty moves. Never mind that. Right now we need to find a new warlord of the sea to replace Crocodile. We mustn't overlook anything.
The destruction of the three great powers would reverberate throughout the world. They must be protected. The 5 elders, supreme leaders of the world government. And this will not be the last time you see them, but it is the first time we see them. Listening to my beginning after the end read through, I love it and I love your energy. Well, thank you, Mox. Thank you, Mox. I don't know how to say it with the Q in the end, so I'm just going to call you Mox. Welcome, Mox. Thank you for enjoying my beginning after the end read-throughs. We're still waiting on it to come out of hiatus so we can begin the next season, but I hope you enjoy my pretty much all my readings that I do. Thank you. The 5 elders, supreme leaders of the world government. Yes, the 7 warlords of the sea have been summoned, but we don't know how many will come. They're pirates after all.
What a nuisance Crocodile made of himself, but we can't afford to ignore the one who toppled him, this Monkey D. Luffy fellow.
Navy High Command to Marijois, announcing the arrival of Sir Don Quixote do Flamingo and Sir Bartholomew Kuma. I always butcher the saying of that. Sir Don Quixote do Flamingo and Sir Bartholomew Kuma. And we get this one dude with this big feathery jacket on, and he walks with a weird bow-legged type straight. And then we have this other large individual who's carrying this big old Bible in his hands with he's just like a massive individual walking behind him. And that is the end of chapter 233. We got a short SBS, and then we have chapter 234. Oda! This is from I Love Sanji in Hokkaido. It's a compatibility test. The answers are on page 186. Hello, Yahoo! Oda! I came up with a compatibility test. Please put it in your manga. Time for a break, One Piece fans! Today, you've come to an amusement park with Luffy and his crew. What's everybody doing? There's Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, Vivi, Karoo, and Oda. Match them with the activities below. 1. Eating like a pig. 2. Only riding the super fast roller coasters. 3. Watching a show with costume characters. 4. Having gotten separated from the others and is lost. 5. Is with you right now. 6. Is trying an octopar, an octopus parfait. And 7. Enjoying things just like a regular person. And I guess you just gotta match up which one is the most compatible with each activity. Chapter 234, please remember. Sacred Marijois!
Hey, cut it out! What's the big idea? It's not me. I can't control my hands. Stop! This is no time to be fooling around!
He's right. This is no time for practical jokes. Behave. Doflamingo, is this your doing? Be a good boy and stop that.
And we see an elderly lady who's sitting amongst all these other Marines. Great Advisor Suru, Vice Admiral of the Navy Headquarters. Oh, this is going to be the first time I voiced Doflamingo in my read-through! Let's go! Be a good boy. You're something, Suru. Then why don't we get right down to business? And end this meeting. And Doflamingo is like moving his fingers, and then it cuts to these Navy admirals, these Navy officials bringing out their swords, going, "Stop, you fool! Stop it! Make them stop! Doflamingo!" And then we have someone going, "Enough! Stop your antics.
Did you come here to start a war? I should at least greet you. Welcome. Buddha Sengoku, Admiral of the Fleet, Supreme Commander of the Navy. I should at least greet you. Welcome, sea scum. Oh, that's not nice. Don Quixote do Flamingo, Warlord of the Sea, former bounty 340 million berries.
However, he's right on target.
Bartholomew Kuma, Warlord of the Sea, former bounty of 296 million berries. Shall we begin? There's no use waiting any longer. I doubt anyone else will show up. 2 out of 6 is more than I expected. No kidding. I wasn't going to come. Business is booming on the island, but I was bored, so here I am. I see. That's not welcome news. There's nothing worse for us than pirates doing well.
You're so mean. I thought your nickname was Buddha, Admiral Sengoku.
As Doflamingo just sits on the table. He doesn't sit in the chair, he just sits on the table.
What's all this squabbling about? Perhaps I came to the wrong place.
Hawkeye!
The 2 great powers of those 7 warlords of the sea and the High Commander of the Navy. But isn't a round table meaningless? I didn't think you'd... Well, this is a surprise. I'm just here as an interested bystander. I'm a little curious about the pirates you'll be discussing. That's all.
So Mihawk is there. Mihawk is there. And then we have someone going, well, then may I join in as an interested bystander too?
Huh?
Well, maybe bystander isn't quite the right word. What an illustrious assemblage. Who the devil are you? How'd you get in here? If all goes well, I hope, to anticipate as well. To participate as well. And this individual just starts tap dancing. That's why I've come. Since Sir Crocodile is no longer a warlord of the sea, I thought you might be looking for someone to replace him. And it's this individual who's just like in long overalls and like a patterned shirt with a top hat, earrings, and a cane with, tap dancing shoes.
You're Lafitte.
You know my name. I'm honored.
Who is he, Suru?
A former sheriff from the West Blue. He was notorious for his brutality and was subsequently banished.
Ho, that's such an old story, but never mind me. I've come to recommend someone to be your new warlord of the sea.
Then we cut to the Grand Line.
Red-haired Shanks. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. You say this letter's from him?
Yes, it deals with a very important matter. He sent me to deliver it personally.
Well, thank you.
No problem. I'm new to his crew, but I was already a pirate. In fact, I'm pretty well known. Rockstar, red-haired pirate's newbie with a bounty of 94 million berries. Ever heard of the name Rockstar?
Can't say that I have, Dayui.
And then this individual rips up the paper that Shanks was apparently supposed to give him. Huh?
He dared to send me a letter?
Hey, you!
Who does that upstart think he is?
Wait, that's an important letter from my boss. That was from red-haired Shanks himself. Are you crazy?
And I'm Whitebeard.
Captain, you've had enough grog for today.
Shut up, I'll decide when I've had enough. What harm can it do?
But my boss said that that was a very important message.
I have a pretty good idea what it's about. Blackbeard and Ace. You tell that brat Shanks if he has something to tell me, he can come here in person with a bottle of good booze.
And then we see the man.
Now go. I don't have time to chat with snot-nosed brats.
We see this man as he's being tended by many nurses. Edward Newgate, the great pirate Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. And you can see the stature of Whitebeard.
He's hooked up to so many IVs. He's got like nozzles in his nose, and he's got all these nurses that are overlooking his care. But the dude is massive. One of the girls that's standing on like a step platform, she doesn't even get to, she barely gets to his shoulders. That's how massive he is. Whitebeard is huge. He a big man. Whitebeard a big man. And then we cut to another location on a winter island.
The old geezer hasn't changed.
This is no laughing matter.
I thought this might happen.
The symbol on the medicine.
I didn't notice. Oh, snap. I gotta turn my manga up. I gotta turn it upside down.
Huh? Huh? I never knew. Okay. Okay. But we cut back to the winter island.
The old geezer hasn't changed.
It's no laughing matter.
I thought this might happen.
Captain, give me another chance. I've never been humiliated like this.
Whatever you're thinking, forget it. You did your job. Now come back.
But how can I face you like this?
Come back while you still have a face. There's nothing more you can do. I appreciate your efforts.
And then it cuts to Lucky Roo and Company, because we cut to Shanks and Company. What now, Captain?
I'll go to him. Prepare to set sail.
To Whitebeard's base?
That's right.
Then Beckman speaks up.
Won't the government try to stop us? Maybe. But we're going anyway. We'll deal with them when the time comes.
Woohoo! Hear that, men? We're going to fight!
All right. And make sure we have some excellent booze.
As Shanks and Company prepared to set sail to meet up with Whitebeard. And then we cut back to the Navy official. We cut back to the Holy Land of Marijois where this meeting is taking place.
Teach?
That's right. He's the captain of our pirate gang.
Never heard of him. The other pirates won't like it if we appoint a nobody.
I understand. We have plans to amend that. So please give us a little more time. Interesting. Let's give it to him, Sengoku.
By the way, you actually sound like Shanks' dub voice actor. Not bad.
That's a pretty big compliment there, Ozzy, because Shanks' dub voice actor does a phenomenal job. I got to get back into continuing the One Piece dub of One Piece because they are catching up. They're all the way in the dub of One Piece is all the way in the midst of Wano right now. That's how fast they caught up. The last I left off of watching the One Piece dub was when they were getting into Whole Cake Island. But the One Piece dub has gotten as far as Wano. The One Piece dub is already in Wano. And it's like, are we going to see a moment where the dub of an anime catches up? One Piece anime catches up to the actual sub anime? I'm sorry. I'm just taken aback by your compliment, Ozzy. Thank you. Sounds interesting. Let's give it to him, Sengoku. It'll make you remember it will make you remember the Blackbeard pirates in a way you won't forget.
Then we cut to Jaya, Mocktown, the present.
Hey, did you hear? Bellamy got beat! Who did it?
100 million. He didn't look like he was even worth 30 million, but this much? What'll we do, Captain?
And then Sarkis bumps into this individual.
All right, fatso, don't be hogging the road. I'm gonna clobber you.
Shut up!
And this large individual slams Sarkis' face, grabs him by the head, and slams his face into the ground.
I don't deal with small fry. I'm looking for a head worth 100 million. Zip! I've got a reputation to make.
Trust me when I said you've been listening to that guy for years and you're spot on. Well, thank you, Ozzy. Thank you.
We're finally going hunting.
But Captain, we're supposed to meet Lafitte here.
That's not like you, ogre. If we miss him, we miss him. It's fate. Zip!
You're right. The man's no better than his own luck. So going from the orders of people I just read through, we have Champ, Jesus Burgess! Champ, Jesus Burgess, helmsman of the Blackbeard Pirates. Supersonic Van Ogre, or Augur, depending on the translation. Sharpshooter of the Blackbeard Pirates. The Grim Reaper, Doc Q. Sorry, I'm skipping over the one person that I want to announce last. The Grim Reaper, Doc Q, Doctor of the Blackbeard Pirates. And then lastly, the Captain himself, Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, Captain of the Blackbeard Pirates. They finally introduced themselves, and we see that they're extremely large individuals because a regular person walks past them and they get caught up in their path, and this dude barely comes up to their midsections, barely comes up to their waist. So Blackbeard and his crew, they're all just extremely large people just walking through the streets. And that's when we finally get introduced to this individual we saw back in the last volume. It was Blackbeard the whole time. And remember, Blackbeard's name has come up multiple times in the story already. We got that's the end of chapter 234. We'll move on to 235, but first, Van Augur definitely has one of the coolest epithets. Supersonic? I mean, yeah, he does. Supersonic Van Augur. Or Van Ogre. But we got an SBS before we move on to chapter 235. We are almost done. Thought I heard something in my window because I got it slightly cracked. SBS! Question. Where is Vera? First, it was the scene of a coup d'etat in Volume 11, then the wild town in Chapter 228. What's going on there? Answer. Well, that's very shrewd of you. Vera was a thriving town back in Nolan's day 400 years ago, but presently, because of the many revolutions that have happened there, it has become a dangerous place. So, instead of asking what's going on in Vera, maybe one should ask what's going on in the world. And I believe you'll soon begin to understand. It's a small nation on the Grand Line, smaller than Alabasta. But I won't go there on vacation. Best way to introduce Teach? It is. Because it shows Sarkis. I don't know why I keep saying Keese. But it shows Sarkis just still salty that Bellamy got beat. And then he proceeds to get his face bodied into the ground, just like his captain, by another individual. Because I remember in the anime, especially the dub, where it says, has Sarkis having Teach, it shows Sarkis looking at Teach, who's looking at the poster of Luffy, and he's all like, you better throw that trash away if you know what's good for you. And then, the voice of Cole Brown, who was the voice of Blackbeard back then, goes like, that's enough out of you! And then he drives his face directly into the ground. So it was such a pivotal moment to let you know that this dude was not a person to be messed with. Question. Oda-sensei, I saw the One Piece movie Chopper's Kingdom on the Island of Strange Animals. It was so good, and I was surprised to see you in Soccer King of Dreams, the short feature that was shown with it. By the way, Oda-sensei, do you really look like that? And it has an individual whose face is patterned off of a soccer ball, oddly enough, and Oda just says, yes. Question. Hello, Oda-sensei. I was watching One Piece recently and realized for the first time that Sanji has hair on his legs. For some reason, I thought that blonde leg hair wasn't as noticeable. I'm a big Sanji fan, but I don't really like his hairy legs. Please do something, Oda-sensei. Oda. But Sanji's really hairy, and Chopper's really hairy too. That's it for the question corner. See you in the next volume. He's not going to do anything about it. And we got chapter 235, the knock-up stream.
That idiot! Where is he?
Goes Nami.
The sun's already up. He's 46 minutes late. We'll miss our chance. If he did get the gold bullion, its weight will be slowing him down. He should have taken that into account.
I don't think he's concerned with the time. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe he got beaten up. Well, if he did, I'll never forgive him, even if he had made it back in time.
Make up your mind.
Hey! And it's Luffy.
Oh, it's him! Thank goodness!
Goes Masuda.
I did it! Hurry, Luffy! Hurry, Luffy! We have to sail!
Look at this! And it cuts to Luffy, who shows like, it's a Hercules! And it's Luffy who stopped to catch a beetle?
What were you doing?
Wow, that's awesome! It's the Merry-Go flying version! As it shows the Merry-Go has been repaired, but it's also been outfitted with new appendages, including a new head for the Merry, like a new figurehead attachment for the Merry, wings off to the side, and even fins on the back of it.
I bet it can fly, right? Well, it makes me anxious.
Yeah, a pigeon would fly better than a chicken.
Not about that, you idiot!
And then it cuts to Luffy, who was carrying the bag of gold that Bellamy took, and drops it right in front of Cricket.
All right, time to set sail. You guys...
All right, time to set sail. You guys ready? Aye, aye, sir. Woo-hoo!
And then Luffy's just standing there in front of Cricket.
Get aboard. There's no time. You don't want to miss your chance to go up to the sky. Fool.
And Cricket has apparently been smoking so much that there's like a small pile of cigarette butts is just right there in front of him. So yeah, he's been smoking a whole lot.
Right. Thanks for fixing up the ship.
Thank those two.
Thank you, guys! You can have my Hercules!
Really?
You're the best! Everybody get aboard the ship. Hurry, you're running out of time.
We'll lead you out. Follow us! Hurry, Luffy!
Okay. And then Cricket is just looking back at him. And then he puts his hand on the gold. And he's gripping it as he thinks back to when Bellamy was making fun of him.
Nolan's El Dorado was a fantasy.
And then Cricket screams out,
Monkey Mountain Allied Force!
Woohoo! Aye, aye, sir!
Don't mess up! No matter what happens, give it your all for these guys!
And then Luffy smiles and then jumps onto his ship.
All right, let's go!
Let's set sail!
Okay!
Okay!
Aye, aye, Nami!
Boy, this is where we say goodbye. Let me tell you one thing that I'm certain of. No one has ever proved that El Dorado or Skypiea doesn't exist.
Right!
People may laugh and say they're silly legends. Well, let them laugh. That's what makes it a great adventure!
A great adventure.
Right! Thanks for retrieving my gold. Don't fall out of the sky now.
Bye, mister!
Thanks for everything, Cricket!
I'm sure you'll find El Dorado someday, mister!
Don't die so recklessly!
Mind your own business!
Then it cuts to a ship that's sailing out on the ocean. And it's the Blackbeard pirate ship. And it's just like a bunch of logs just connected to one another. And they're giant logs, just giant logs connected to one another. Cannons all over. And it even has the Blackbeard Pirates Jolly Roger, which is 3 skulls with like 3 sets of bones going through all sides.
It's morning. Well, do you see anything?
No sign of land.
Are they really going to a sky island?
Ah, that's what they said. It won't be easy to overtake them after that, so we'll have to settle matters before they go.
So Blackbeard is trying to make his way towards Luffy. And then it cuts to Luffy and company that's traveling with Shoujo and Masuda.
Now, listen up. It's now 7 a.m. We shall reach the spot at about 11 a.m. Like Cricket said, the knock-up stream erupts in a different place each time. So we've got to get into position before it blows.
We're a bit off schedule, so... Oh, wait, this is Nami going. Oh, this is Nami saying this.
Now listen up. It's now 7 a.m. We should reach the spot at about 11 a.m. Like Cricket said, the knock-up stream erupts in a different place each time, so we got to get into position before it blows. We're a bit off schedule, so... Hey, are you listening? I'm trying to explain something!
And then it cuts to... Luffy messing with the South Bird.
Jaw!
And then it cuts to Luffy going, look, look! And then it stops, and then it looks forward. Ka-chung!
See? It's facing straight ahead! Gee, there sure are some strange birds in the land.
It really does face only south.
It's like a compass. How funny! Jaw, 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 jaw! What did it say?
It said I'm going to look in a different direction and mess you guys up.
Nah, just try it.
Huh? It turned north. Jaw, 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 jaw.
And then it just turns its head back south because it literally can't turn its head to any other place other than south. So even if it tries to look in another direction to mess them up, it'll always look in the direction of south. And everyone's laughing at it.
It has to face north or it gets antsy. Jaw!
Hey, you guys, you're upsetting the big...
Hey, you guys, you're upsetting the big boss.
Leave them be. But their antics do make me nervous.
Why is it?
There's no sense in worrying. Let's relax.
Who was it that made us late? But the boy's right. Stress kills.
All right, everybody relax a little. And full speed ahead. Ooh!
Ah.
Fine weather.
And then everyone's chilling to the point where it even shows the ships relaxing and like the posts of the sails are kind of leaning because everyone's relaxing. Even the ships are relaxing.
Ah, such fine weather. Woo!
Are you sure about this?
3 hours later.
Boss! Bad news!
Boss! Bad news!
What is it?
To the southwest! Night is coming! It's the Emperor Cloud!
Are you sure? What time is it?
It's only 10 o'clock. We weren't expecting it this early.
This is bad. Can we make it Sojo?
Utan divers submerge immediately! Check the currents!
That's the Emperor Cloud?
Because in the distance, we see this big, massive cloud formation that's in the distance.
Woo! What?
What's that? What?
The Emperor Cloud showed up early. We haven't even located the knock-up stream yet.
And then it cuts to Shoujo screaming into his microphone, and then it cuts to the other divers going,
Reverberation confirmed! Giant current discovered 12 o'clock! Giant creature detected 9 o'clock! Possibly a sea monster! We've detected 10 o'clock coming against the direction of the stream! Possibly a giant whirlpool!
And then it cuts to Mashida.
That's it. Turn the prow to 10 o'clock. That's the sign of the knock-up stream. Head for that whirlpool.
And then the whole ship starts moving.
Ah! What's that? The waves suddenly got higher! Ah! We're gonna sink! It's the tremor before the explosion! Watch out!
Navigator. Huh? What about the log posts? It's pointing straight up at that cloud. The wind is perfect. The Emperor Cloud is heading straight for the whirlpool.
Huh? What whirlpool? Where is it?
Looks like we've hit the mark, brother.
It's all up to the current now.
Can we do it? Goes Luffy.
Aye, we're gonna make it.
What?
We'll tow you to the whirlpool.
Then what do we do?
Sail into the current. If you can make it to the center of the whirlpool, you should be fine.
It's a giant, and they're in a giant whirlpool. Remember back to the ending of At World's End, when Calypso caused a massive maelstrom to happen at a giant whirlpool, and the Flying Dutchman and the Black Pearl were in the midst of it? Yeah, it's about that size. That's how big it is.
No one said anything about this.
And then Chopper can only think of the knock-up stream just going into the air, not even paying attention to the fact that they're in a whirlpool.
It'll be all right, Nami. I'll protect you and Robin.
I'd never seen such an enormous maelstrom.
Stop! Let's go back!
Sorry, Usopp. It's too late now. There's no turning back.
Sky Island, here we come!
And that is the end of chapter 235. Onwards to the final chapter of volume 25. But first, the SBS with the answers for the compatibility quiz that we had earlier on. Here are the answers for the compatibility test. This test will tell you how you feel about your friends who are like Luffy and his crew. 1. Although you think this person is a bit silly, you love him or her anyway. 2. You are very compatible with this person. You should try talking to this person. 3. You don't get along with this type at all. Best to avoid them. 4. This person is bound to become a dear friend. Do you rely on this type of person the most? 5. You always look down on this person, but when the two of you are alone, your attitude changes. Open your eyes. 6. When your good friends aren't around, you find yourself killing time with this person. That's not good. 7. It may not be obvious, but this person and you are almost perfect for each other. Going out with this person on days that contain the number 3 will certainly increase your chances for love. And those are the answers to the compatibility quiz that we had earlier on. Chapter 236, The Ship Sails to the Sky. Chapter title page series number 5. I wouldn't die even if you killed me. And it shows an area where a ton of things have apparently been bitten into, with massive bite marks everywhere. I wonder what caused all of these. But as they're sailing into the whirlpool, a sea monster is right in the path of where they need to go down into the whirlpool, and it gets pulled under. And everyone is, Nami, Usopp, and Chopper are scared to see the sea monster getting pulled into the whirlpool against its will. All right, you guys, you're on your...
All right, you guys, you're on your own from here. Good luck.
Okay, thanks for everything.
Wait! Give me a break. I'm scared. I want to go home. We're all gonna die!
And then Chopper is just screaming like crazy in the back. And then it cuts to the Southbird just going,
Joel! No one said anything about a giant whirlpool. This is fraud! Fraud! It's night! We're being sucked into the whirlpool! Let's turn around, Luffy. There's still time. Don't you see that? It's gonna swallow us! Sky Island is a dream in a dream! Yeah, a dream in a dream, yeah!
a dream in a dream, yeah!
He's right, Luffy. I think it's impossible too.
And then Luffy, whose face we haven't seen since this chapter started, just looks back at the both of them like, look, he looks like OJ when he's ever looking at Joe going, hey, Joe, you want to play a zombie game? And he has that big old cheese on his face. You know, the type of ones that you want to protect. He's just looking like, a dream in a dream. Now that's a great adventure. If we don't do this, we'll regret it for the rest of our lives.
He looks so happy.
When you're finished whining, check this out.
What now?
We're gonna be swallowed up.
Nami, I'll hold you. Hurry. We're falling.
And then they just land. They look like they're about to sail directly into the middle of the whirlpool, and then it just stops and they land on flat water.
Huh?
It's gone? How? What happened?
We were in the center of that giant whirlpool. What's going on?
And then it cuts to them as they made it to the center of where the whirlpool is, and we see another panel of things that are bubbling up.
No, it's already begun. The whirlpool disappeared. Huh? No way.
Hold it!
Huh? Oh. Hey, Zoro. Huh? Look.
We caught up with you, Straw Hat Luffy.
They're from Monktown.
Who? We're gonna take that 100 million berry head of yours. Give up!
And then it cuts to, because Blackbeard and his company have almost caught up to Luffy. They were directly in front of him. And then it cuts to Shoujo and Mashida going,
Who are they? Friends?
I don't know.
Did you say my head's worth 100 million berries? Really?
You mean you don't know? Huh, why is it so dark around here? There's a bounty of 100 million berries on your head. And Pirate Hunter Zoro, you're worth 60 million.
And Usopp is looking through some binoculars at it, going,
It's true. There's a new poster. Zoro, you're a wanted man.
And then it cuts to Sanji, who's like shaking and sweating and going like,
What? Now hold on. What about me? Is there a poster of me?
Nope.
Look again.
Nope.
Did you hear that?
only 60 million? Psh, heh.
I get it. Your bounty skyrocketed after the Alabasta incident. 100 million. Stop celebrating!
Hey, you guys! Pay attention! It's coming! The knock-up stream!
Get ready.
Huh?
Huh? What the?
As it shows the area where Luffy and his crew are on, it starts to bubble up directly underneath them.
Everybody grab onto something secure or go below! Ah! The sea's gonna blow!
And it shows Luffy and Blackbeard's ship getting closer, getting risen higher and higher, but Blackbeard's ship is still on the edge, so there's a possibility they could slip off. But Luffy and his crew, they're dead center, so they're perfectly fine. As Luffy goes, whoa! And then we see the whole ocean explode extremely violently, shooting high into the air as we hear them all scream. But in the process, the ship of Blackbeard and his crew gets destroyed by this knock-up stream. So Blackbeard tried to go after Luffy, and it didn't even work because his ship got destroyed and all of them get knocked into the ocean. And then we see the shaking all the way back on to Cricket's side of the island. And this dude's smoking way too much. His pile of cigarette butts has made its own secondary pile right next to it, and he's just smoking as he feels the ground shake underneath him. And in the distance, we see the Emperor Cloud and the knock-up stream going straight into the sky.
Ah! Oh no, we're gonna capsize!
Hang on. Don't go overboard.
And then both Shoujo and Machida just smile as they go,
Make it.
To the Sky Island!
and then we see the knock-up stream going higher and higher and higher and higher into the sky.
Ah! Hey, what's happening? The ship's sailing vertically up the surface of the water current. Yeah, this is fun, but how do you explain this?
The wind?
All right, we can go to the sky on this. Go, Mary, go!
Wait a minute. I think we're forgetting something.
What's wrong? What? What, did we forget something?
The ship's beginning to float.
Huh?
If we tilt back, it's over.
What? That can't happen. What can we do? It's all we can do to hold on.
Huh? What's that? A Neptunian? It's the one that got swallowed up by the whirlpool.
And it's falling backwards past Luffy and everybody else.
See? It's only a matter of time before we end up like that.
It's a little late to think that. It's a little late to think of that. We're still being propelled upwards by the force of the explosion. There's nothing we can do.
Oh wait, it's Zoro saying this. It's a little late to think of that. We're still being propelled upward by the force of the explosion. There's nothing we can do now.
Why did we ever decide to do this? All kinds of things are raining down on us. They're all victims of the knock-up stream.
Oh wait, it's Sanji going, why did we ever decide to do this? And then Chopper goes,
All kinds of things are raining down on us. They're all victims of the knock-up stream.
It's all over for us. We're gonna fall. We're gonna crash into the sea and die.
and then it cuts to Nami who goes,
Hoist the sail, now!
huh?
This isn't just a wall of water. It's the ocean. We can sail on it the way we would any current. The heat from the steam and the explosion have created a blast of warm air. If we're just going up against the sea and wind, we can navigate it. And who's this ship's navigator?
You are, Nami!
All right, guys, do what Nami says.
Right.
We'll catch the wind.
We'll catch the wind at starboard and sail to port. Then we'll let the ship follow the current.
Aye, aye.
This is bad. The ship's leaving the water.
We're falling, Nami! Do something!
No, we're gonna make it.
Huh?
We're flying!
As it cuts to them unfurling the sails and they're actually flying along the length of the knock-up stream. It's incredible! The ship's flying through air!
No kidding.
And Robin's smiling, and Chopper's, surprised by it.
We did it.
Well, what do you know? Nami, you're amazing!
With this wind and current,
And I love you!
we can make it all the way to the top.
Nami, are we there yet? Is this the Sky Island?
If there is such a place, it's above those clouds.
Above the clouds? I wonder what's up there. Let's head straight for the Emperor Cloud! Yeah! And that is the final chapter of Volume 25, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen the introduction of the Gorosei, the 5 elders. We've seen the formal introduction of Don Quixote do Flamingo, Bartholomew Kuma, and Blackbeard and his crew. And now we have Luffy and company making their way up to the Sky Islands. And not only that, but we got the most satisfying punch that we will see in this arc. Well, one of the most satisfying punches we'll see in this arc. Not in the entire series because there are more. But this was a fantastic read. Now, mind you, I've said this before. I know of these really major events, but I don't know the specifics of every single one. Because when it comes to the history of One Piece, I never took the time because I did it for when I went from Whole Cake Island all the way to Wano, like a big, massive dive when we go through the synopsis of it. It was like a 9-hour stream when I did it. But I never did the specifics on previous storylines or for anything of that matter. So me going through all of these fine details, learning all of these things, it's absolutely amazing. And I was happy that I was able to show this moment with all of you. Thank you for making this a truly wonderful Monday. But that's all I got for you guys for today. We will continue tomorrow with Volume 26 of this series. I'm enjoying doing this whole read. We will be... How long is it going to be before we get to some really, really good parts? I think Volume 32 is when things get extremely serious for all characters involved. Not saying that the one that we are about to enter into is not serious, but Volume 32 is when One Piece truly, truly, truly takes off, at least for the time skip. But yeah, needless to say, I'm looking forward to reading every single volume for you guys until I catch up, until I read through all of the volumes I said I was going to read through. And I can't wait to see you guys later this week as we tune in to the Summer Game Fest. Hopefully we'll get some new game announcements and whatever during that time. I will be doing a live stream of it. It will be at 3 o'clock, but you guys will know because I'll put it in the community post. But thank you for spending this short amount of time with me, even though it's been like 2 hours. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do this. Seriously. If I didn't have you guys, if you guys didn't bless me as well as you did, if God didn't give me the wisdom to do this, to leave my former job and then do this full time, because this is the only work that I have. Without you guys, God guiding me and you guys, this channel would not be where it is right now. So I just want to say thank you for making this dream that I wanted to pursue an actual reality, and for me to be able to do this. I just want to say thank you, everyone. Hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then like, subscribe, share this stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And maybe even consider becoming a member, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.